Are you struggling to grow your physical therapy practice beyond the typical physician referrals? What if I told you that diagnostic testing could unlock an entirely new referral stream? What if I told you that today in our show, we have an expert who generates 1,000 diagnostic testing referrals per month? Well, today we're pulling back the curtain on how diagnostic testing is just great for patient outcomes. It is a marketing engine that can transform your practice growth. See you in a few moments at Your Practice, Your Money, where clinical success meets financial freedom. Welcome, everyone, to the 13-week educational series, Transforming PT with Diagnostics. Elevate patient outcomes, expand your services, and thrive in a changing PT landscape. But also, welcome back to our podcast, Your Practice, Your Money, where clinical success meets financial freedom. I'm your host, Dr. Dimitrios Kostopoulos, and in today's episode, we're diving into one of the most powerful yet often underutilized growth engines for private practice physical therapy. And that is marketing and referrals for diagnostic testing. Joining me today is someone who knows this topic better than almost anyone. It is Elan Etstein, who is the Chief Marketing Officer of Hands-On EMG Testing. And Elan has built such systems where successfully he can generate over 1,000 diagnostic tests per month. Today, we're going to share exactly how diagnostic services can fuel both your clinical success and your financial freedom. And most importantly, how you can apply these strategies in your own practice. And Elan, I want to welcome you to our podcast and welcome you to our 13-week YouTube series.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kostopoulos. It's a pleasure being here. Hello, everyone. I've been doing this for about a decade now. So I've learned a little bit of tricks of the trade and things that work, things that don't work. I'm going to talk to you about things that work. So it should be a lot of fun. If anyone has any questions, my cell phone number is going to be on there, my email, so you can contact me. Okay. First thing I'm going to go over is a little bit about how this can really help and what you can do to speak in physical doctor's offices to get patients, right? So changing the game. What can you offer to physicians that they have been lacking with other PT organizations, right? You offer fast and accurate diagnostic testing and never assume, always ask probing questions. You want to ask them a lot of questions. You're going to sound interested in them. If you're interested in them, they'll be interested in you. You don't want to go in there and just start saying, oh, we do EMGs, we're the best at this, we do that. You want to find out what types of patients do they see? Do they see any neuropathy cases? Do they have diabetics? Any numbness, tingling? If it's a podiatrist, anything about the foot. You're going to customize it according to the specialist that you're speaking to. This will provide you the ammo. I love ammo. I love my holster full, right? This is going to provide you with the ammo you need to close the deal and create that solid relationship. Now you're going to speak their language, okay? Because sometimes I go in there with maybe someone who's a physical therapist. First, ask them if they know what an EMG is. Even if they're working at a hand specialist, they send out for EMGs. They just don't know what it is. They may have not even seen it, right? So ask them what an EMG test is, if they know what it is, right? Many don't know or have a broad idea, but don't really know how it can benefit their patients. Give them the layman's example. This is the example I give to everyone. Front office managers, front desks, Not doctors, they know what it is. So I say, at a typical PT company, a patient comes in and says, my arm hurts. And then the PT says, okay, great, let's work on your arm. Let's work down here. Let's go over here. Let's do this. Let's do that. And then after 10 visits, why isn't my arm getting any better? So then they send them back to the doctor. The doctor sends them out for an EMG test. And they say, oh my God, the problem wasn't in your arm, it was in your neck. So we just wasted 10 insurance visits on your arm when we should have been working on your neck. That gives the office staff the aha moment. Oh, so you can specifically specify where the problem is coming from. You really see their eyes like light up because you actually taught them something. They appreciate it, and now they know how to refer and what to do, right? That's my layman's example, just because I'm not a physical therapist, and that's how I understand it, right?
Let's put it this
Yeah,
way, Elan. It's important to understand that referrals to a physical therapy office or to a diagnostic testing clinic most times do not even happen directly from the physician. The physician will say, okay, you need to get physical therapy, or you need to get an EMG test or an MRI or whatever. What will happen is that physician is going to give the patient to his secretary or her secretary, and it is up to the secretary or the office manager or the physician assistant or the nurse practitioner in that location to
find someone.
actually
Yeah,
make the referral. So your approach, Ilan, is really very good from the point of view that it allows the people who make actually those referrals to
yeah.
be part of the solution.
Exactly. And exact case is we're in New York City. I don't know where everyone else is from, but we have an orthopedic office in, not ours, but in Manhattan, who was Googling us for an EMG test because, they didn't know exactly what it was. They first had to look it up. The doctor says, send out for an EMG. Then they said, okay, how do we find someone? So we happened to be high up on Google. And because they had to find out what it was first, I'd never been there. They found us, and now it's a constant referral source, right? We have a great relationship with them. So no, absolutely. But if I went there first, they would know what to do. So anyway, so this will distinguish your PT company from others, right? So I know a lot of people aren't marketing people, or they don't go out often. They think it's sales. And sometimes you get stuck. You have the deer in headlights with the doctor or the patients. I have those moments every week. I have the easiest thing to get out of those stuck moments. You ready? And this is going to kill two birds with one stone. You're going to show interest in them, and you're also going to start a whole nother conversation, right? So basically, okay, you're just looking at each other after you went over your spiel. He told you about the office. Say, hey, how long does it take to schedule patients in your office? The doctor goes, oh, let me look. Oh, yeah, we could schedule pretty much this week. Oh, this is fantastic. In the event to have someone I can send to you, that's great to know. I'm happy it's not a month. I'm happy it's like right away because I'm interested in sending you patients. And at the same time, your awkward moment finished, right? You got out of it. So that is my go-to, the scheduling in the office. So keep that in mind. So deciding factors of doing EMG testing. So timeliness with scheduling and reporting, easiness of the referral process, accuracy, great communication. You need to find a point person in each office, the one that you can rely on to talk to. You don't want to have five different people. They don't speak to each other. You want at least one or two point people. Now this is very important. That's really helped me out a lot. Create your favorite sample EMG MSKUS reports for different body parts that your team performed with the names redacted, obviously, because of HIPAA. But so I have seven of like all the major different EMG parts of your body. These are sample reports because they don't know you from Adam because there's some guys out there that do EMGs, but they don't really. They do like an NCV and that doctor comes in and uses the needle. So they don't know what we are, right? They don't know that we've been doing this for 2 decades, right? So having your awesome EMG reports, like your most favorite ones, maybe the most complicated ones, to send to them, it's very powerful ammo to have in your holster. Again, more ammo. So, for instance, hands-on physical therapy, my partner company is an EDX accredited EMG laboratory, right? So that's also something that we utilize in our holster as well. The laboratory status, which Dr. Kostopoulos can talk to you about, that it's a possibility in the future to get to is a great tool to have as well. This is I keep this accreditation with me, the certificate. I give them the copy in color. So because sometimes you talk to an office manager and they hand it to someone like a doctor, and then they see that we're a real company, that we're serious about this, right? We also do diagnostic testing in physicians' offices, right? So there's extra income for the doctors. You keep their patients in-house. These are attributes of doing it in the doctor's office. Doctor makes more money. They keep them in-house. Faster diagnostic testing and reporting turnaround. You can convert diagnostic patients into PT patients with the doctor's approval, obviously. But you can also create another realm of more patients, but with PT through the diagnostics. The diagnostician can say, oh, you know what? You could also go to physical therapy as well. And then you can refer them as well. Physical therapists have the best bedside manner, better than any other diagnosticians because we deal with patients on a daily basis. So that's a great tool. This is for you to, in your mind, don't tell this to the doctor, but it also ensures consistent testing on a weekly/monthly basis with the referral sources. You do like 8 to 10 on a day, they schedule them, and you handle that.
This creates an absolutely amazing way to get in the doorstep of any type of referral source, right? And why I'm saying that, because and I want to just a little bit discuss with you this specific aspect. The vast majority of physical therapists right now, when they try to market their physical therapy practices, they go to the various offices and they say, we do state of the art physical therapy. We have the best manual therapy in the world. We treat our patients in an amazing way. And pretty much, if you take a physician's office, a physician's office will receive, 10, 15 visits per week from different physical therapy offices, pretty much all of them saying the same thing. There is no differentiator there because which of you does not have state of the art physical therapy facilities? Will you ever go and say, oh, by the way, my facility is not state of the art? Will you ever say something like that? No. Will you ever say that you are not doing the best quality physical therapy? Will you ever say that patient does not always come first? Patient comes always first. Would you ever say that that's not true? No. But you see, these specific lines of trying to get through the referral patient system are, if not identical, very similar. So I want you to say a few more words on how the fact that those facilities that perform diagnostic testing can become a differentiator in terms of approaching these physicians and therefore opening the door for patients who receive diagnostic testing to be converted to physical therapy patients, and how these physical therapy practices have then a unique advantage against the physical therapy practices who do not offer diagnostics.
We really have like an intimate relationship with them now, right? We've gone to another level. They're not just sending us patients when they need to. They literally they're scheduling patients for us to come in to find out more information so they can basically then go to the next level and do their job better. So we're helping the doctor figure out his plan of care or her plan of care, right? So it's not just, when a lot of times the doctor just sends a patient out for PT and they might not see him again. We're actually doing the EMG testing in their office. We're giving them the reports within 48 hours, typically, sometimes the next day. Don't overpromise, but we try to do it within 48 hours. Then they get the reports and then they call the patient back in. Okay, now let's go to the next level. Thank you so much, hands-on EMG testing. You've helped me. Now I know exactly if this patient needs surgery, what to do next. So you're intimately involved with each patient that it's in that doctor's office. And if they need PT, they can come to you.
How important is it in educating referring providers about diagnostic testing? And What messaging works best in this case, would you say?
Sometimes you need to really educate the doctors. As some PCPs don't exactly know how it works and what's involved. You really have to explain to them. So that's kind of my technique. I'm asking them questions I know they're going to say yes to. Do you have this? Oh, yes. Would it help you if we can get down to the nitty-gritty and help them even more? Maybe they haven't thought about it. A lot of the doctors, they don't think about EMG as their first, second, or third choice, right? Even podiatrists don't. I've met multiple podiatrists. I met one today. It's not even on his mind. He's like, you know what? I do have a lot of numbness and tingling in some of my patients. Let me think about it. You're giving them ideas, right? On how to help their patients better, right? It's not just helping your office. It's helping their patients get better. And the good thing is they can come back in and the doctor can see them again. Here's my insurance card again. Oh, there's another reason for you to come in. Oh, and it's better service for the patients too. By the way, keeping the patients in the doctor's office, patients feel comfortable already with that doctor, right? So by keeping them in there, you're keeping the patients in-house. You don't have to send them anywhere. They know you. They're like, oh, here's John. He's gonna do an EMG on you. I'm next door. If you need me, come call. So it's also about comfort. Yeah.
Now, let's take the example of two physical therapy practices, right?
Yeah.
Physical therapy practice A,
Yeah.
that physical therapy practice provides great PT services. And let's take physical therapy practice B that offers same quality service, but also offers EMG and MSK ultrasound high quality testing. How does offering EMG and MSK ultrasound testing change the way referring physicians and other providers view a physical therapy practice?
So by doing an EMG, you're increasing by 61% the outcome of that patient, right? And this is a case study that's,
It was published in 2020,
yeah.
and we're going to put a copy of the 2020 resource article that shows that 61% improved outcomes.
You're educating the providers. You want to do it, without sounding like you're talking down to them because some of the doctors feel like they know everything. And, some of you that visit doctors, you know this. So you just want to let them know, listen, a case study from 2020 proves that by doing an EMG test on a physical therapy patient, you're actually improving the outcome by 61%. That's not 10%. That's substantial. That's more than half, right? So by doing these tests, and obviously you don't need to do it on everyone. Like in our office, we have when the patient comes in, there's like a checklist. Do you have this? Do you have this? Do you have this? Do you have like any numbness, tingling? Do you have diabetes? Things like that. If they check it off, and then the therapist after the initial evaluation feels this is a good case for an EMG test, then definitely you should do that, right? And then obviously the outcome should be multiplied by, a much higher amount. And that's what we try to educate the doctors as well. A lot of them aren't aware of this. They've heard about EMGs here. They send them out to a neurologist. They have no idea what it does. The thing is about us is I'm visiting doctors every day. So, and we work in constant communication with doctors. Neurologists aren't doing that. They're just getting the case and then throwing it back. We're physically following up with that patient and the doctor about the EMG test.
We have also a published study by the Elaine Armantrout study that demonstrates that the quality on performing and interpreting electrodiagnostic data is very identical between physicians like neurologists and physical therapists. So the matter of quality has been settled already. Many physical therapists market themselves, right, to referring physicians' offices. What would you say the most common mistakes that physical therapy private practice owners make when they try to market their physical therapy practices?
Everyone's a state of the art, right? Everyone's this. So if you're telling them, oh, we have this, we're the best this, it's about asking questions. I have incredible empathy when I walk into the office. I'm always interested in finding out more about them because, look, 3 years ago, I created a referral out division in our company. In 3 years, we just referred out 1,670 referrals in 3 years. So it's a big part of our company and how we build these relationships. It's not just to get patients back. I don't always get patients back the same week, but I will at some point. They appreciate it. Our patients need them. They need a hand surgeon. How are you going to find a hand surgeon? You're going to go to ZocDoc and are they good? I don't know. But we're visiting them, right? We're the ones that are vetting them. So, by doing that, we're really showing appreciation to them. We're helping our patients out and their office at the same time. You're killing two birds with one stone on that one as well. And it's all about the relationship building. I'm not going in there talking about myself. I'm finding out more about them. It's all about them and our patients. And look, it's going to all come back to us at some point. Don't expect it. Oh, I sent you a patient. Where's my patient? So it's about thank you so much for the referral. We're going to take good care of your patient and we'll let you know if we have any questions.
As a physical therapist, you have to be able to deliver what you promise. And when you go out there, even if you engage in the area of diagnostics, let's say musculoskeletal ultrasound, right? I'm telling you, I have heard some scary things out there. I have heard of practitioners, not only physical therapists, other professions too, where they go and they watch a YouTube video and then supposedly they have become experts in MSK ultrasound. And this is so far from the truth.
Yep.
And then they do a sloppy job with results that are not reliable, and they create a bad name for the profession and for the practice of MSK ultrasound or electrodiagnostics. This is why we try to steer people to do the proper training, such as a fellowship in musculoskeletal ultrasound by the American Academy of Musculoskeletal Ultrasound, AAMU, or a residency by Hands-On Diagnostics in electromyography,
Yeah.
where the clinical competency is paramount and board certification is the number one option for that.
Yeah.
That is extremely important. Now, many of the physical therapists who are watching right now, they may be thinking, well, this sounds great, but I'm not sure I'm ready for engaging into something like this. Maybe I'll wait and see sometime in the future. What would you have to say on some consideration like this in terms of implementing something like this in a PT practice now, or whoever knows when and if in the future?
Yeah. Why wait? Your patients are in your office. You're doing the best you can with the data that you have, but why not get them better faster? And the next level, right? Let's say you want to start in 2 years from now. Okay, so that's 2 years of patients that got great physical therapy, but could even be better, right? Can even be better. And I wanted to add something actually. I challenge any of you, we're in New York City. I challenge any of you to go to your hospitals, right? To some neurologists around your area, right? Ask them how long does it take to schedule an EMG test? You will be stunned. Most of the hospitals in New York City, I can think of four, it's between 3 and 6 months. What if you could offer the hand surgeon at that hospital, the same hospital, to do it the same week? Watch them be interested in your next sentence. We have taken over some of the hospitals in the area for all their EMG dates. Because what are you going to do? A patient's in pain. They need to get an EMG test. They have to wait 4 months, let's say, and they're going to be in pain for 4 months. That's the way the world is right now. But what if you can alleviate that by doing it the same week, right? And then the doctor gets a report back within 48 hours. Think about that. That's something interesting to, yeah,
And it does
ponder.
not only serve the doctor, it serves the patient who has a solution quickly, an
Yeah,
accurate solution, and their situation does not become worse and worse before they had to wait.
yeah,
Especially pathology, let's say pinched nerve in the neck, a carpal tunnel syndrome, or anything like that, by time, unless there is the proper intervention, it will become worse. Any final words from your side?
I definitely think you should start a referral out program. It has changed the whole culture of my company, of our company. I'll tell you why. Everyone is involved in that. You're also helping your own company because everyone is in it, right? They love helping their patients. They love sending me the referral out sheets. And you're building a whole slew of new relationships. You're not just going in there, okay, how am I going to get patients from this guy? Well, what if you send him a patient? You know, it can really elevate by triple your company. Don't overpromise. Say, in the event that I have a patient I could send to you, I would love to find out more about your business. And I'm telling you that referring out to doctors has been awesome.
I
Yeah, thank you.
appreciate it very much. And what amazing insights. That wraps up another episode of Discover Diagnostics. And a big thank you to Elan Etstein for sharing these incredible and actionable insights on how diagnostic testing can be the driver for marketing, referrals, and explosive growth in your practice. Well, if
Thank you.
you want more tools, resources, and episodes like this, head over to discoverdiagnostics.com or to our podcast, yourpracticeyourmoney.com. And be sure to subscribe in those episodes on YouTube and also for our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever else you listen. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next week for another powerful conversation designed to move your practice forward. Until then, keep doing well and be well. All right. And that wraps up another episode of Your Practice, Your Money, where clinical success meets financial freedom. A big thank you to Elan Etstein for sharing incredible and actionable insights on how diagnostic testing can be the driver for marketing, referrals, and explosive growth in your practice. If you want more tools, resources, and episodes like this one, please head to yourpracticeyourmoney.com and be sure to subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and wherever else you listen. We'll see you next week for another powerful conversation designed to move your practice forward. Until then, be well.